welcome to this week's episode of Success in Women. I'm Linda.
I'm Andrea.
And this week, again, we're still in December. We've still got a lot of stuff going. We're going to talk about you. But before we get into that and what that's all about, Andrea's got her tip for the week.
Well, ladies, I'm sure you're about getting ready, if not already, wrapping gifts. And, you know, it can be a real pain when you're looking for tape, looking for a ribbon, looking for this. So what I do, and it's worked for me, is a little part of my basement, and it could be a corner in any room in your home. I have a little fold-out table, and I have everything at my fingertips. So I have a box that has ribbon in it. I have a box with tape, pens, some little, you know, the cards, tags that you put on. Then I have a pile of, on the floor beside me, I have a pile with the large bags, the small bags, the boxes. Everything's ready to go so that at a moment's notice, I could run downstairs. Say you have 10 minutes or half an hour, the kids went out or the husband's gone. Run to that room, wrap a few, throw them under the tree or in a hiding spot if you have small children. And eventually it gets done. At least you know where everything is. You're not running around looking for paper and bags and boxes.
It's a good idea because I know I found myself many times on Christmas Eve still scrambling. And then I run out of tape, and then I've got to look for another thing of tape.
Right.
But I'm doing this on Christmas Eve, and it was always, I found, stressful. But it's trying to balance, you know, working. And I don't even have children. And for you mothers that actually have to juggle family obligations, it would be nice to actually, if you could get this all set up, and then every few, you know, whenever you have a few minutes, you can get that.
Or even, you know, arrange a day. Like I remember when we used to go to Florida, and it was a very tight spot, and I had the 3 kids, and I would say to my husband, you know, tomorrow, take them to wherever he wanted to take them. A place called Celebration Station, where, you know, it was sort of like a kid's playground. And then I would take that couple of hours just to get mostly everything done. And it was really funny because outside our balcony door, we had a little storage. Oh. And we used to hide everything in there. And it's so funny because a couple of years ago when we were here at Christmas, they asked me, where did you hide all the gifts? She said, Stacy goes, oh, we looked everywhere. We couldn't find them. I said, don't you remember the little storage door on the balcony? Oh my goodness, they never even thought that it would be out there, right? Oh,
but you know what's interesting?
The memories are so
I was going to say, it is, right? Because as kids, I remember when we started looking for gifts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that was always fun to do. And sometimes it was kind of like when you did find it, it was already wrapped.
Right.
But, you know.
And you try to.
But yes, you tried to shake it and tried to figure out what it was. But that was also part of the whole leading up to Christmas kind of thing. And that's why it's kind of nice actually to get your gifts wrapped early, because it actually makes it more fun for the kids. I mean, I'm talking about the older kids, not the little little ones that are, you know, still waiting for Santa to come. And
but now they have Elf on the Shelf to keep them busy, waiting for Santa to come.
What is Elf on the Shelf?
Oh my goodness, Linda. I am so thankful that we didn't have Elf on the Shelf when I was, my children were small, because it's a little elf from the North Pole, and he gets into trouble every night in your home. Oh. So every night, parents are thinking up ways to have Elf get into trouble. And then in the morning when the kids wake up, there they all are. There they are. It could be like flour on the floor and Elf is laying in the middle of it. Toilet paper strung
I don't
around.
understand the concept of that, because you don't want to have more work. What we're trying to do is give you less work and less stress.
Exactly. But that's the new thing now. My daughter's just started December 1st. Elf comes to visit.
God.
Oh, yes, and they wait. He's been waiting for months because he named his elf Tornado last year. And that's what he's like in the home. So for the last month, when's Tornado coming? When's Tornado coming?
So ladies, you know, given the fact if you do have young children and you're going through this, you need some I'll say, time for yourself, some balance to, I'll say, put you back and put everything into perspective.
Exactly.
Taking a step back and saying, okay, this is way too much for me, and taking some time for yourself. And that might mean asking your partner, or if you have older children, to watch the younger kids while you go have a bath. Maybe put some candles on, some nice music, and just take some time to relax.
Exactly.
Because it's really important over the holidays that you actually do more than just strive, but that you get to enjoy the holidays without getting stressed out.
And not overdoing things. Like, you know, we can get so wrapped up in the partying or the drinking, the food. And if you're one that takes care of yourself during the whole year, like I've been doing, and with Weight Watchers and trying to keep my weight down, this is a very, very frustrating time, because
it's a challenge.
It's
for
a challenge.
A lot of you.
Yes. You want to eat all the goodies. You go to people's homes. Everybody's making cookies and whatnot, and you don't want to pass it up. But the one thing that I learned through Weight Watchers was that if you go somewhere and they do have a table of sweets, what you want to do is you might pick like 2 or 3 things, put it on your plate, just take one little bite of each thing. Now, if there was one thing that you really loved, go back and finish that. But you don't have to finish all the pieces, you know, so because they could be useless calories or wasted because you didn't really enjoy it. So make sure whatever you're going to eat, you're enjoying it, and don't feel guilty about it.
So, you know, it's interesting. I've never been a big sweets person, and I'm not saying I never eat sweets, but that's not my thing. I'm a savory, so I love food. I'm not big into desserts. But it's interesting what you said, Andrea, because the times that I have actually chosen, especially going on a cruise, you know, they're always having all these wonderful desserts, and sometimes I will indulge. But the thing that you said, which makes sense because I've done this forever, is that I'm not wasting calories on something I'm not really enjoying.
Right.
And so if I take a bite and it's like, it's okay, but it's not something I know I'm going to really enjoy, why would I waste the calories on something that is not really that thing that you mentioned, the one that you really want? And a lot of times as well, especially during the holidays, what you might want to do is actually eat something before you go to someone's place, or even a restaurant.
Right.
So that you can hold yourself back from overindulging. Because all this work you do all year long to keep yourself healthy and in shape, and then within a few weeks you've blown it, that you've got to start your January feeling depressed because you've gained X amount of pounds that are now, I'll say, you know, weighing you down in the sense of all the other things that are happening. But now you've got that to contend with. And so, you know, a lot of people have New Year's resolutions and going to the gym.
And we will talk about that in the new year.
We will, because we're going to be talking about the goals and stuff. But why don't you take care of yourself throughout the whole month of December? And there's ways.
Be mindful. Be mindful of what you're drinking, what you're eating. Like, there's ways to do it. Like, if you want to have wine, have a spritzer.
Yes.
Put, you know,
a great idea.
Club soda or ginger. Even my girlfriend drinks beer and ginger ale. So it lasts longer, and you could use diet ginger ale if you want. It lasts longer, and at least you feel like you're having a drink. Now, I don't drink personally, but you know, people who do, they want to be able to enjoy themselves and not feel deprived.
Right. And the other thing is as well, I don't know, again, because you don't drink, but for me, I don't necessarily want to have a glass of wine, then another glass, and another glass. And so sometimes what I'll do is in between, I might have a glass of wine. I don't make it too large so that, you know, I can just nurse it and then go on to, say, a club soda. Because club soda doesn't have any calories, but I still feel like I'm getting something. And if you put in, like when we mentioned on another episode about, you know, I'll say cubes with cranberries and stuff, and you have that, you do feel like you're having a nice festive drink. There's no calories. Plus, you don't get that hangover or that headache the next day because
brain fog.
because you've overindulged. And you feel so much better that when you wake up the next day that you haven't had to feel guilty about anything that you've done. You've been mindful of the things that you did, take in to your body.
Right.
And also, ladies, those little victories of that you were really good when you went to this party or you went out to the restaurant and whatever, and you were good. Appreciate and give yourself a pat on the back for all these little victories, because all the little things that we do that make us feel guilty after because we know we shouldn't have is not really good for you overall in your overall well-being.
That's right.
But you have to be the one thanking and appreciating, hey, I was really good today.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to overindulge to feel like, okay, I'm really into the celebrating.
No.
I think
because most of the time we don't feel good after.
You really don't.
No.
At the time you think, oh, this is great because you're involved and you're really enjoying the evening or whatever. But then the next day you wake up feeling guilty about everything that you've done.
And not only that, you suffer like physically
Yes.
and mentally. Like I find if you, especially the sugar
Yes.
rushes, and you feel down and depressed, or you feel bloated. What fun is that? That doesn't serve you any purpose.
No.
So just, be mindful, enjoy little bits here and there. Just don't overdo it. Like shove everything in because you think that, well, it's the holiday and
I can get away with it.
I can get away with it, right?
Yes.
Because then it just hurts you in the long run.
And if you are a kind of person that normally has a fitness regime, continue that throughout December.
Right.
Don't stop and think, oh, I'll get back to it in January. I know January's around the corner, but you can do so much. It's easy to get out of shape. It's very difficult to get back into shape, and it takes so much longer.
Exactly.
And if you just continue, even if you're not going to the gym, but for example, you just, like a lot of times I'll get up to my counter and I'll do some push-ups and stuff.
Right.
And one of the other things that I've just done.
Dance around to the music.
Yeah, that's a
Throw
really
on some
good
Christmas
one.
music.
Absolutely.
And just dance around while
Keep moving.
Keep moving, and like flex the muscles. Get your energy level up.
Yes. And one of the things that I've just discovered recently on a lot of the YouTube videos that I seem to watch, and when you watch one, there's more that seem to come in on the same topic. One of the things that I decided yesterday I was going to start doing this, and I'm starting to plank again. This is just one little exercise that you do on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And they say if you can plank you start off with 10, 20 seconds and move to 30 seconds and on. I have a very strong core. I've always had a strong core. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to watch a video so I can take my mind off the timer. But I put the timer on as I planked, and I was able to do just over 2 minutes. And this one particular video, they want you to build up to 5 minutes. And I'm going to see if I can do that by the end of December.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, and it's just my own personal little challenge.
Right.
But it's one thing that I thought, well, you don't even need any equipment. You don't need anything.
No.
You just need some space on the floor.
Planking is hard to do.
It's very hard. And people don't realize the benefit of actually being able to do it. I remember one time, a friend of mine was visiting, and this was in the summertime. And so she got into planking. And so all of a sudden she said to me, oh, can you plank? And so I said, yeah, because I used to do it at the gym. So we did it and this is when I still had the house, but we did it outside on my balcony. We each planked. We got a mat, and we each were planking. Of course, I outplanked her, which she was totally shocked because she thought she had one over me. Anyway, so I'm talking to a friend of mine, and I was telling her about this little challenge my friend and I had. And I said to her, my friend, I said, can you plank or do you plank? She goes, oh yeah. I said, so how long can you plank? She goes, half an hour.
Oh yeah,
I said, half an hour. I said,
get down and show me.
And I said that, Yeah, because I said, there's no way you can
No,
plank for half an
no.
hour. I don't know anybody who can do it because a minute is hard.
Yeah.
And I know doing 2 minutes is a big thing because
Yes.
a lot of people can't do it for 2 minutes.
No.
So anyway, I told her, I said, I want you to get out there and tell me really how long. Well, the next time I talked to her, she goes, yeah, I can't plank that long. I said, no, I don't think so. And she's 10 years older than I am.
Wow.
And to say 30 minutes, I
Yeah.
was like, you don't know what planking is. If you think
No.
you can plank for 30 minutes,
No way.
I mean, that is really hard. I haven't made it ever to 5 minutes.
No.
I don't even know if I've made it to 3, but I know I've made it just over 2 minutes. And now I have to build it up again because I haven't been planking. But that's my goal for the month of December.
Wow.
I'll let you know if I ever make it to 5 minutes. But I find that watching the video actually helps to distract me.
Well,
But-
it's like anything when you're doing any kind of workout. If you've got some really good music, or you got the TV on,
Yep.
and you're watching a show that you're really into, you can do a whole lot more.
And especially stretching and stuff, because
Right.
even if you're not doing weights and all this other stuff, stretching is such a good
Keep
thing
your
for your body.
flexibility.
Yes, to keep the flexibility going.
And if you have your grandkids coming over, or your kids, and take them outside, go for a walk, go skating,
Go play.
tobogganing, go
Mhm.
play. I mean, when my kids were small, we used to be outside all the time, and that you don't even realize you're exercising.
Exactly.
It's to keep the body moving and get the muscles going, and you shouldn't give that up while the season is on, because like you say, January
Yeah.
comes and you're like, oh, why did I do that?
It might have taken you 6 months to a year to get into your ideal shape, and then it's taken 3 weeks, and all of a sudden you've lost it all.
Yeah.
That's why for me, I'm a person that likes to be balanced, and that's why also
Well, you're very good, Linda. You're very disciplined, but again.
But also, Andrea, it's only because I know how hard it is to get in shape
Right.
that I don't want to lose.
Right.
Andrea's got a friend that always says, "Oh, what are you doing? You're always so thin." It's not thin, but slim. But the reason I stay consistent is because I think mindful again of what is going to, if I'm going to eat something, or if I'm going to, I'll say indulge in something that's a dessert that's more the high calorie. I never deprive myself, but I think before I'll say go to
Right.
excess
Mhm.
to keep the consistency. Because Andrea, you've been on Weight Watchers,
Mhm.
you've been off, I'll say, at times,
Mhm.
and how you've had to get back on. And don't you find now that consistency of thinking more now before you indulge makes you feel much better and
Oh,
keeps
yeah.
you into that, I'll say, the same weight?
Yes.
Within a pound or two, it doesn't matter.
And it's funny because I was in Florida for almost 2 weeks, and when I came back, I went for my weigh-in, and I had gained, not tremendous amount, because everybody at the meeting said, "Oh, you should be proud," and that is true. Like, take time to celebrate that it could have been 5-10 pounds, but it wasn't anywhere near that, but it was a gain.
But
And,
partly, I think, because when you go to Florida for short times, you eat out a lot more. Because
Exactly. We're not cooking in the
Exactly.
condo, and
that
my
does make
husband
a
loves to
difference.
go to restaurants.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to be careful, but sometimes I just say, forget it. I want that, and that's that, right? But now here's the thing. I didn't feel that great, as far as I felt sluggish and no energy. I didn't want to do this or do that. Now, for the last week, I'm back on track. I'm eating properly. I'm eating the right foods, the proteins, the veggies, and all of a sudden, my energy's coming back. I feel fantastic. I feel happy, and the brain fog is lifting, sort of thing. So it matters. It really
It does.
matters.
And it's a good point that you brought that up about not feeling good. So even though you've done and you've indulged, I found even when I was on the cruise recently, the couple of times that I'm going to say I didn't eat the right foods, or I didn't eat them in the right order and stuff. And Andrew and I are going to be talking in a future episode about eating foods in the right order.
A fabulous episode.
It makes such a difference. But that's what I found, Andrea, is that literally felt so sluggish and everything. The days that I ate proper and ate in the right order, believe it or not, I slept through the night. I woke up energized. I can't tell you how long that's been that I'm not having good sleep patterns. And then when we got into, I'll say, especially eating the foods in the right order and stuff, how that can make a difference on your system, and you don't even think about it.
Because the body is a machine. And if you treat it the way it should be treated, it'll
run for a long time.
Run for a long time. And that's the thing. We need to take care of it like we take care of our other things in our life.
That's a good point, because we don't think about it the same way as we do take care of everything else. Material, the house, the car, you know what I mean?
The kids. We don't take care of ourselves.
And we're not listening to the body when it's telling you that.
Yes, and the body tells you.
And the body does tell you.
So think about when you're feeling sluggish, when you have a brain fog, when you've just got no energy.
What did you do?
There's a reason.
Yes.
What did you do? And fix it. And it's everything's fixable.
Everything is fixable. And that's why if you do these things, you're going to actually enjoy and find that your December and the holiday season is much easier to cope with.
And more enjoyable.
More enjoyable. Think of yourself as number one first, because if you are down for the count, really, what's going to happen for the rest of the family?
Yeah, it won't be fun.
You need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
So be mindful.
You know, take moments for yourself. Like Linda said, have the kids watched by the husband or somebody. You know, somebody, maybe you have an older child that can sit with them and watch a movie. Throw a movie on, say, okay, I'll be in the washroom having a bath if you really need me.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when they go to bed, have a nice book. Have a nice book to sit and read. Take time for yourself.
Yeah.
When you can.
That's all very important in the balance that you're going to need, especially trying to juggle everything.
Maybe you could even have a spa day.
Yes.
You know, if somebody says, your husband or your kids say, what would you like for Christmas? I'd like a spa day, you know, so maybe they'll do that.
You can do that even before Christmas instead of waiting till after the holidays.
That's right.
Just
sneak it in.
Yeah, sneak it in. Sneak it in. So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Success in Women, and we hope that you
like,
share,
and subscribe.
And remember, ladies, 2 thumbs up if you can. We'll see you next week.
Have a good day.